and welcome. Today is part 2 of the video, how to stay motivated during your studies. If you haven't checked the first part, do check that out. I covered, in the part 1, I covered 7 different reasons why you may feel demotivated and provided some suggestions and strategies how to deal with it. In today's video, I'm going to share 7 more strategies on how you can deal with uh, the reasons why you get demotivated. So these videos that I'm doing are part of a series of videos that I'm doing in the month of March, and where every day I'm doing one short video where I share my insights, my thoughts, my experience that would be helpful for PhD students, for undergrad or bachelor's or master's students on various aspects during their study. So do check out all these videos. They are very helpful, very insightful. And this is something that may change your approach towards your studies or your research. All these videos are there on my YouTube channel, so please subscribe to my channel and hit that like button for this video. And this video is kindly sponsored by Skyspace. It is an AI platform for researchers, so do check this out. Do check it out. And if you want a discount coupon, it is there in the description below. You will get a 40% discount on your annual subscription. All right, let's go. Let's start with today's session. So the 8th reason why you may feel demotivated during your studies or during your research, or maybe even at work, is because there are inadequate rewards. Lack of recognition for hard work can lead to feelings of discouragement and question about the value of your effort. So rewards are an intrinsic part of human motivation. If humans are not motivated or not rewarded, they will not be motivated. So it has to be something. There has to be some way to offer rewards for that continuous motivation. If you are in an environment where you are not getting recognized for your hard work or for your great work that you are doing, don't worry. It often happens at work, at uni. But what is important is that you should not get demotivated because somebody else is not appreciating your work. Yeah, you have to have intrinsic motivation. You should be motivated from within, because what you are doing is only going to add value to you, to your personality, to your knowledge, right? So having that intrinsic motivation itself should be a strong reward for you to continue what you are doing. You can keep some personal milestones. Once you have reached those milestones, you should self-reward yourself. I think in the earlier video also I mentioned about something similar, that you can celebrate small wins, small achievements that you do, and just get together with friends, go for dinner, or have some fun time, go for a movie, whatever you feel is a reward that you want to give it to yourself. Or retail therapy, nothing like that. Just go and spend some money, buy something that you like. Reward yourself if others are not recognizing your value or your talent. It doesn't matter whether they realize or they don't realize. You should know what you are, how talented you are, what values you carry. So keep that in mind, and just stay motivated. You can also broaden your rewards. It doesn't have to be some a quick reward that you are aiming for. It may be these rewards can come over a long period of time. Something that you do now, you may see the benefit or value of that thing maybe in a year's time. So have patience. Don't be too concerned. But if you cannot handle that situation, you can advocate for yourself. You can go and talk to maybe your teacher, your supervisor, or your boss, saying that this is what I have achieved, and I deserve some form of recognition for my work. Otherwise, if you are open with this kind of conversation with the person, I think you will also feel better that you have at least taken some action on this front. So don't be demotivated because of this, and just cheer up. And whenever you feel demotivated, come and listen to me, and you'll be happy again. Okay, next thing is work life imbalance. And this is so common these days, because the boundaries between work and home are become so blur that you can work from home. That has become a norm for many businesses, and you cannot distinguish that you are now at work or you're now at home. So that boundary, that blurring of the boundary causes work life imbalance. So you need some way, to uh, deal with this situation. You need some you have to take some action, so that you kind of don't get demoralized, demotivated because of this work life imbalance. So what you can do, you can have set goals, you can have a schedule that you want to follow, so that if it is 9 to 5 is the work hours, just work in that time. But after that you are out, out of that work zone, and you are in your at home or in your leisure time. You basically consider your day is divided into three blocks of 8 hours of work, 8 hours of leisure, and 8 hours of sleep. That's your complete 24 hours. And try to maintain that balance. Don't let that be imbalanced. Don't spend too much time at work, or don't spend too much time at in leisure. So keep that right balance, and it is very good for your work and life, to maintain work life balance, right? What you can also do is try to say no. Learn how to say no, because a lot of times you take on additional work or take on additional duties because you cannot say no. And somebody asks, can you do this, can you help me with this? The only thing that you can say is yes. So if you can learn this skill of saying no, saying that I really appreciate you reaching out to me for this help, but as of now I'm fully occupied with the work that I'm doing. I do not think I can give my 100% for you on addressing the uh, problem that you're facing. Something like that. Give a very polite, kind response, so that you do not, so that you maintain that relationship. Because somebody, when they approach you, they already consider you to be worthy, that you could help them. So but you have to learn to say no, to maintain that work life balance. Time management is very important. I already told you 3 batches of 8 hours. So if you do that, you will start to build that work life balance. It is not suddenly that will happen. It may take time for you to build up that routine and get into that process. It takes time, but if you do it regularly, it becomes a habit. And once it is a habit, you will realize that, oh wow, this is really amazing, why didn't I do this before? Yeah. So keep that in mind. Another thing you could do is, you could use technology, or you could outsource some of the work that is taking up your time. If somebody can do that work for at a reasonable rate, which is lower than what you are earning, then you should outsource that. Because if you are earning $100 an hour and somebody can do that job for $25 an hour, get them to do it, and you supervise, monitor, and then get your job done. So keep that in mind. You have to be very methodical and very selective of how you're going to use your time, and use your time wisely. Okay, the 10th reason for demotivation is financial stress, and this can be really, really hard. I have to be very upfront and very blunt that if you are a student, and if you are in a new country, that financial stress can take a toll and can make you really demotivated. But what you need to do is, you have to understand that this is part of the student life. It is for a short period, and after that you are going to be very well compensated for the effort that you're putting now in your studies or in your research. Yeah. So there are some things that you can do. I mean, the managing financial, doing financial planning itself is a very detailed uh, area, right? But here I'm giving you some suggestions of what you can do. First of all, you have to budget on how much you are going to spend for each month or each week. That budgeting is very important, and that budget depends upon how much you are earning at the moment. You can also apply for some scholarships from the universities to secure some additional funds to help with your financial situation. You can take some part-time jobs. Wherever possible, apply or use student discount coupons. Most countries will have some form of student discounts that they offer for products and services that you want to use. Monitor your expenses. Where are you spending more, and is it really necessary? So you can cut that down if you can. Plan your meals properly and don't waste food. This is one of the biggest cost that you will have, although you don't realize it. If you plan your meals properly, maybe cook your meals as well in advance, maybe for 3 days or 4 days of the week. You prepare the meals, pack it in the boxes and put in the fridge. So that way you are first of all saving time, to not by cooking every day, but also saving the cost, because you now have a fixed budget and then you're sticking to it with the meals that you're making. If you want, you can also take some courses on financial literacy. So you learn how to manage finances, or maybe even take some advice from a financial advisor on how to manage your expenses or manage your finances. And keep a look at monitor your spending as well. Where you are spending money. Basically, whatever is incoming, whatever money or funding that you're receiving, you have to live within that, or keep looking for alternative sources of income. But always keep in mind that your objective here is to study or to research. So that is your priority. Don't put that on the back burner. Your objective is not to earn money while you are a student. So keep that in mind. I see a lot of students suffering because of this, because they see, oh, I can do this part-time job and I can earn a lot of money now, but they are sacrificing their studies. During the time you are studying, focus on studying and focus on networking, because you do not want to be doing these part-time jobs for the rest of your life, right? You need to get a professional job after you finish your study. So if you're spending time only on doing this part-time job, that is not going to take you there. What you need to do is study and spend time networking and building your profile, building your online presence or brand, so that people know you, and when you apply for a job, you have an upper hand compared to others who are just working without considering what they're losing out during their study time. Okay, point number 11, overwhelming workload. So if you have a lot of assignments, projects, and study materials, this can lead to a lot of stress and burnout. And typically, if all these assignments come at the same time, if they are due in the same week, then you will be like stressed out or freaked out, or, oh, how can I manage all these assignments on time? So one thing is, you don't have to leave it till the last minute, right? So whenever the uni starts, your lecturer will give you the plan for your unit, that you have 3 assignments, they are due on this day. So you can plan in advance, manage your time so that you allocate proper time so that you can work on that assignment. So if you have proper plan, then you will not have this last minute stress because of all assignments coming together, or maybe your research papers have to be submitted, or there is a presentation that you have to do, all these things coming at the same time. So that won't happen. One thing that the universities can do, or the PhD supervisors can do, is to make sure that there is a balance in the assignments distribution. So if there are 4 units you are doing, maybe the lecturers of these 4 units kind of come together and say that, okay, I'll put my assignment in week 3, you can put in week 4, you can put in week 5. So that kind of arrangement, if they can do, it will also be helpful for the students. You can manage your tasks. You should manage your tasks properly. Make some small micro tasks that will help you to get the job done for your assignment. Keep an eye on the deadlines and use some planning tools that you can to ensure that you are on track with your submission. Don't leave it till the last minute. And if you can delegate some tasks, if you can, but avoid multitasking, because if you're multitasking, it will not be something that is going to add, you will not get the good results for either of the tasks that you're doing. So try avoiding that. You can plan the task so that you finish one task and then move on to the next, rather than doing two things in parallel. Another reason for being demotivation is poor teaching or supervision. And this can happen, and I have seen it happen a lot of time, because of maybe ineffective teaching experience or research guidance. Students get disengaged, and that leads to demotivation. They don't feel they are getting the right guidance or right teaching that they need. So this is something that student can do here, is they can figure out a way to manage this situation on their end. It could be self-learning. It could be asking for some guidance from some mentors, maybe do some private tutoring, learn online, use AI to help them teach. So this is what students can do to manage this situation. And from a university point of view, universities could engage in professional development for their teachers or supervisors to make them aware of the challenges that the students are facing. And if they can bring it out to that, this is what students are facing or challenge, these are the challenges that they are facing at the moment, and how you can provide them the support that they need to help them be motivated and continue with their studies. So this is something that both sides have to do in this situation. Next thing is perfectionism. I don't know, there are a lot of people who are perfectionists, including me, I would say, to a certain extent. And the pursuit of perfection leads to procrastination and also sometimes fear of failure. And that can become a problem for a lot of students, and dealing with that is earlier the better. Because if you are working on something, and if you're not happy, you continue working. If you're not happy, you continue working till you want it to be like perfectly perfect. And there is nothing like perfectly perfect. So you have to understand that at some stage you have to put on the brakes, that this is it, I have to submit it now. I cannot continue working on this infinitely. So it has to be, you have to keep that in mind. You have to acknowledge the impact of perfectionism. What could happen if there is a little bit, if the work that you are doing is a bit imperfect, what could be the impact, right? Or if you have multiple competing priorities and you want to finish them, finish both the things, if you're stuck in this perfectionism, it can also lead to hindering your progress, and that will then affect your motivation. You will think that, oh, I'm not able to finish this, I have to finish, and I'm getting stressed, it is due tomorrow, it is due today, and I'm still not being able to complete it. So all that things can happen if you are trying to be perfect. So you have to understand, you have to realize that being perfectionist is not something wrong, but you have to also understand the boundaries and the challenges that perfectionism can bring. And if you have a way to manage those challenges, then it is well and good, because you understand that this is an issue that you are facing, and you have some strategy in place to deal with it. Okay. And try to be kind to yourself. Don't put yourself into so much stress because of you trying to being perfect. I don't say that you should not be, but you also have to realize the boundaries of perfectionism. And lastly, another reason why the students could get demotivated, especially if you're doing your PhD, and it is because advisor issues or supervisor issues. It can be for PhD students, a challenging relationship with a supervisor can significantly impact their motivation and progress. This is something, and it is not very uncommon. I have seen these challenges with supervisors. It is just because personalities are different, and this can cause some problems between the student and the supervisor, or student and the teacher. So what can you do in this situation? You can have an open line of communication and kind of set the expectations between what the advisor or supervisor expects from you, and what are your expectations in terms of their feedback time or their responses to your question. One thing I would suggest is document everything in this, in case in the worst case you need to change your supervisory team, you at least have some form of documentary evidence that this is not working. I need somebody who understands how I need supervision and provide me that way of supervising, and so on. Evaluate your options, and then you can make a more informed decision, so to say, in this situation. All right, so that is all the challenges or the motivation reasons why motivations can why you can get demotivated. I hope these 14 points help you to help you to come out of that state of demotivation, of being demotivated, right? Always keep your bigger picture in mind. What is it that you want to achieve? What is your goal? What are your career objectives, career plans? And ensure that make that vision so strong in your mind that all these things do not have any chance to stop you from achieving what you want to get. All right, that is for today's session. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about how to make your CV. This will be very important and very useful for everyone, even the students doing their undergrad, masters, bachelor's, masters, PhD, or even postdocs. So do join in tomorrow, and we'll have another amazing session. All right, thank you very much. And don't forget to follow me on YouTube. And thanks once again to my sponsors. Take care. Have a good evening. Bye.